Boxing Talk on Boxing Arizona. We are lucky to have our next guest of Fighthard Promotions. We have Regal Ledesma, Chris Vasquez, Raymond Hedges, and there's one more, Gabriel Valderrama, but he couldn't be with us today. I want to start out with talking with Regal Ledesma, who is the founder of Fighthard Promotions. Rigo, hi, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
Great. So glad that you're here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all.
A little bit about me. I consider myself a businessman. I'm an Arizona licensed contractor. I'm a friend. I'm a loyal friend, man of my word. I'm a giver.
Great. So for amateur, what is your history of boxing? How did you get into the sport?
When I was a kid, I used to box for Maricopa County Sheriffs, which is now Walt Huskins Boxing Club, for Walt Huskins a long time ago, and that's how I started.
Great.
Yes.
And so I know that you have children. Do you plan to get into boxing with them at all?
I have an 11-year-old that I have him training with me at the house, and he likes it. He's been doing that for probably about 2 years now, and hopefully he'll really get into it and start doing some amateur boxing. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so my next question is, tell us about the birth of Fighthard, how it came about.
Fighthard, Sonny Gutierrez invited me actually to fight. We didn't have a name yet, and he needed someone that was financially stable so we can get approved through the commission. So I came along, and we did 2 very successful shows at the Renaissance Hotel in Glendale. And long story short, I bought them out, and here we are.
Great. Now, sorry, but my phone is turning off. I know that you spent the last few years in Mexico promoting.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience down there and what the difference is of promoting in Mexico and promoting here in the States?
Budget, and budget.
Okay.
It's just it's easier for all of us, and it's business. You know, it's basically what it is. With the help of Chris here, he's very knowledgeable, and he's got a lot of contacts out there and here, and we did a lot of shows out there. We're still doing shows out there. We've done about 11 shows out there as of now. Yep. And the difference is, like I said, it's a budget, it's business. We take boxers from here, from different promoters, different managers. We take them over there. They get wins if they win, of course. And it's just a ladder for them to get to the big leagues. To
propel to the next level.
That's
and fight
correct.
Here in the States.
Yes.
Big places like Vegas and California and
Correct.
New York.
Correct.
That's great. Now, also, I know that you're involved in a nonprofit organization. I'd like you to speak a little bit on that.
It's a family-owned foundation. I'm the founder of Children's Hope and Love Foundation. Roughly about 15 years with the foundation. What we do, we bring Santa here in the States to the less fortunate. We have a lot of support from the Arizona Helping Hands. We get tons of toys, and we have events where we bring in families, and we just help them out.
That's so great. So
Yeah.
not only are you a businessman, you're a family man and a philanthropist, and I so much appreciate all the work that you do for this community. The next question is the Masters Tournament, Regal.
Oh.
Tell us about that, please.
Marty Barrett, if you're listening to this, be nice to me. No, unfortunately, I haven't trained yet. It's November 16th at Sonny's International Boxing that he's going to have on November 16th, I believe. It's going to be good. I will never back down, so I'm definitely fighting unless there's an emergency, of course. But once I get in shape, Marty, watch out.
I'm excited to see you there. This is really good. And then the last question that I have for you, do you feel that there is an extensive competition between promotion companies here in the Valley, or that there's enough to go around? What would you say?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, let's do the math here. Maricopa County has roughly about 9 cities here. Within those 9 cities, we have over over 4 million in population.
Mhm.
So, and we have, what, 1 or 2 promoters here? I
Right.
mean, there's plenty of cake for everybody.
Right.
So there's no competition. I would say competition would basically be who has the better fights, you know, better fighters, what the fans want to see, you know, something that's more matched up, and that's where Chris comes in, and he wants to get some really good fights where everybody wants to see, and whenever they hear Fight Hard, they're going to say, we'll be there.
Right, I agree. Your name is definitely out there. People are really looking forward. Any dates coming up?
We've been back and forth because of the commission of dates, but it seems like we finally we locked up October 18th.
Great. Well, I
Yes.
will be there for sure.
And we want to have at least 2 shows this year. I know we're starting late. And my apologies to Chris and Gabriel. They've always been pushing, come on, let's get back in the States. Let's do our hometown. And they finally got me out of the comfort zone. And we're back and we're here to stay.
Well, Mr. Ledesma, I think that you're more than ready to bring it back to Phoenix, and we're really excited for your show.
Thank you.
I thank you so much for joining us, and I'm going to turn over here to Chris Vasquez. Thank you so much for coming. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, I've been doing boxing for, I'm going to say about 10 years, dealing with professional boxers. I got into the managing side, the whole matchmaking side with Nemeh Bolaños, which
What is that?
that's a boxer, the professional fighter.
Oh, okay.
He fought in Miami actually, and the guy that got him the fight, he actually wasn't there at the fight, and they messed up his contract like really bad. It was a Mike Tyson event, and he's like, "Hey man, this is gonna be your first gig." He's like, "I need you to be my manager." I'm like, I was like, "Dude, I don't have no experience whatsoever." He's like, "You speak English, man. Just do it." I was like, "All right."
Threw you into it,
Yeah.
huh?
So
That's
from
the best
there,
way.
you know, I mean, the rest is history. You know, like I started working with him. Through him, I started getting more fighters and more fighters. Started managing up to about 50 fighters. You know, so from there, just starting to go into other shows, to other promotions, Top Rank, Golden Boy. I'm here with Fighthard. You know, just different local promoters. You know, just big promoters. Start dealing with them, starting to learn the ins and outs of boxing, and now working with Fighthard. I mean, I've worked with Iron Boy. I've worked with, you know, with what's the Sweet Science. You know, and back with Fighthard. You know, I like working with everybody.
That's
you know,
great.
I mean, if I can help you, then I'm there. You know, I mean, I have a lot of people that I know in the boxing game, a lot of fighters. You know, and there's a lot of fighters to go around. You
Yes.
know, so.
Yes, I agree. I know that being a matchmaker, you have to have a very analytical mind, and what you have. Could you tell us a little bit about, like, for example, people that would like to be a matchmaker, how they can go about doing something like that?
Well, I mean, being a matchmaker, you know, a lot of people think it's an easy thing to do, you know, posting on, you know, Facebook, "Hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that." It's not that easy.
It's stressful.
You know, it's very stressful at that, you know, especially when you have a show coming up and you're trying to match this show. It's actually very stressful. There's days that you won't even sleep. You're over there looking for people, you know, or you have a fight, and the fight, you know, something happens to one of the opponents, then you got to go back to square one looking for a new opponent. And sometimes when there's like about a week out, it's kind of impossible to do just because they want more money, or they're overweight, or, you know, different things can happen. So I mean, it's very stressful. I mean, anybody
of
can.
details to go
Yeah,
through.
you know, you can't really say anybody can be a matchmaker, because in reality, you can't.
Right.
I mean, Rigo has tried it. You know, matchmaking.
It's the
you can ask
toughest
him, it's like,
of everything that you do here. Matchmaking is the toughest job in the promoting business. It really is.
Right.
you
It
know,
really
one of
is.
the big things too with that, you know, the whole matchmaking thing, it's all on you. You know, if the show is good, it was because you did a good job matching the fights. If the show is bad, it's on you too, because you're the one that matched these, you know.
Yes.
A lot of times, like, for example, this is a perfect example actually. Our last show that we did with Tradiciones, you know, I helped to match make that show. The fights that we had, the undercard and the one before that, those were fights that you were there,
Yes.
with Camarillo and Maldovinos and Finito and a guy from Tucson, Muro. Those were fights. Like, those guys, they were so even that the crowd, as soon as each fight was over, standing ovation. Like, those are the type of fights that I like to put on. Just like, I really don't
And
care.
that's what we want.
You know, like who you're trying to take care of or anything. You know, if you're really good like you say you are, then just take on a good competitor,
Opponent.
opponent. So I mean, that's what we're shooting for with Fighthard. We're trying to bring the fans what they want to see.
That's excellent.
And we want tough fights.
And I have confidence that you will be doing that, definitely, come October. I know that it's a lot of work and that you have a lot on your shoulders, all of you. And again, I thank you so much for taking the time out to come out here. There are a lot of followers, as you know, on Boxing Arizona, and getting the name out there as much as you possibly can is the key, and I really appreciate that. Would you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do? Thank you so much for coming through.
Oh, thank you. Just recently, I just became the announcer for Fighthard. It is my first time doing it. It's something different for me. Most of the time, I've done interviews. I've done a little bit of commentating segment for them on the last show they were. I was watching the Camarillo fight and all that. I've always loved the sport of boxing. It's just always been something there for me. I fell in love with it when I saw the Arturo Gatti fight, Arturo versus Mickey Ward. That's when I started. I was like, man, I love this sport. It's something different because it's just you and somebody else in that ring. What got me into doing the announcing and stuff like that, I would put the TV on mute when a fight would come on, and I would talk during the fights, or I would announce during the fights. So I've been doing this in my bedroom by myself for quite a long time now. So I feel I'm ready, and I'm ready to show Team Fighthard what I can do and what I can show them my talent.
Well, today you're not only going to show Team Fighthard, you're going to show Boxing Arizona what you can do. Give us a little sample of what the fans have to look forward to with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome. Tonight is another great night of non-stop boxing action. Tonight's fights are brought to you by Fighthard Promotions. We just don't fight, we fight hard. And now the time for talk is over. The wait is over. It's about to go down.
Wow, that was excellent. Good job, you got my chill. That was so good. I'm so excited to see you in the ring announcing. We hope to talk to all of you soon. And again, thank you so much for joining Boxing Arizona. Again, this is the first edition of Boxing Talk. Many more to come. I really appreciate you tuning in to the latest. To get the latest and greatest in boxing news and information, tune into Boxing Arizona with Jennifer Clift. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.